And the New York Jets continue to suck so bad and suck so hard that even a game that was horrendously officiated, we can't even get mad at the refs. We can't even, it would be embarrassing for us. I mean, I'll talk about it, but it would be almost embarrassing to even bring it up, which I'm going to bring it up, because the Jets just suck so bad. The officiating in this game was horrible. But let's just start with the positives because there were so few. The Jets got their third safety of the year. Once again, this defense is awesome and doesn't deserve how they go out there every single week, put their asses on the line, put their hearts into the game, and then are just again let down by the offense. Morstead and Zerline are basically our best players. That's so sad. And I hate saying that because they're good guys. They're doing their jobs. They're Pro Bowl material. But your punter and your kicker should not be the MVPs of your team. Morstead dropped one at the 1 yard line. And he's been doing this all year. He had a great game. Third safety of the year. I mean, I guess that's it. Other than that, it was a disaster for the New York Jets. They had a great drive. Head down the field. I don't know, it was a 45-yard drive. And it ended up a third and 12. And of course, stopped, ended. Drive over. Any offensive coordinator in the league in any year you mention, from the time the NFL or AFL started till now, would be fired at this point. They would be fired. They wouldn't have a job. Why does Nathaniel Hackett have a job? Because Aaron Rodgers is his best friend and giving him the mulligan. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Next year we'll be back and I'll be making the calls at the line because you suck ass and I'll make you look good again. That's what Aaron Rodgers does. He's going to make Nathaniel Hackett look good. And people are like, oh, well, I guess it wasn't Nathaniel Hackett. I guess. No. Always remember this. Nathaniel Hackett sucks ass. I am so tired of watching this offense. Tim Boyle, horrible. I said with Zach Wilson, it couldn't get worse. It didn't get worse. It just stayed right along the line of fucking horrible. Then they brought Trevor Siemian into the game. We were excited when he threw a completed pass. But then, once again, it didn't get worse. It just continued to be horrible. How can a team have 3 friggin' quarterbacks and all of them equally suck? I mean, if you had to pick one, I guess Zach. He has better, he could scramble better, maybe. He could throw a little further. But they all suck. They all just suck. And it doesn't help that our offensive line, I mean, they're not even playing that bad. There were times today where Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian had time to throw the ball. Tim Boyle's best throw of the game was a beautiful, 20, 30-yard reception thrown directly into the numbers of the Atlanta Falcons secondary. It was a perfect pass right to him. That was his best throw of the game. Trevor Siemian came in, didn't do much better. But I have to bring up the officiating. As useless as it is for the New York Jets to complain about officiating because we can't score points. So it's not like whether they're... I'm crazy right now. Whether they're siding with the Jets or whether they're siding with the Falcons or siding with whoever, it doesn't matter because the Jets can't score anyway. But how about when Boyle made a pass to, I guess it was a tight end. It was either Ruckert or someone. He clearly gets the first down. Then they show the replay where it's even more clear that he got the first down, and the ref spotted at 4th and 1. How about at the end of the second half, the penalties where the refs literally gave the Falcons a touchdown drive, but the Jets defense is so good that they held them to a field goal. It all started with the illegal use of a helmet. Watch it back. Bullshit call. the helmet's barely touched. It was a bullshit call to give the Falcons yardage. And then the Falcons still couldn't move the ball, so they decided to throw a penalty on to Quincy Williams, which wasn't a penalty. And then the Falcons couldn't move the ball, and they were like, well, we need the Falcons to score. We need the Falcons to score. So what do? They hit, I don't even know, DJ Reed. I was someone in the end zone with a personal foul for unnecessary roughness, something to that effect. They show the replay. It wasn't. His shoulder hit his arm. There was no helmet to helmet. There was no shoulder to helmet. There was shoulder to arm. And they called it and gave them the ball away. At that point, they had it on the 4 or 5. And the Jets defense once again said, no, kick that field goal. I took notes for this game, and I take notes for every game. I just want to show you, this is the first half. This is the second half, and it ends like right about here. And this stuff is, I lose it. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm not going to sit here and continue to take notes on this BS. I mean, and then after the Falcons were gifted like 60 yards from the officials on 3 clear not penalties, they wanted another penalty, and they're all crying like little bitches. Oh, throw another flag. We can't score if you don't throw the flag. That's what made the Falcons look bad. That was embarrassing for the Falcons. That the only time that they had a really nice drive was because of the officiating, and then still couldn't score, and then cried like little girls that they weren't getting even more bullshit calls. I mean, what do I have even for the second half? A great second half drive. A great second half drive started by the Jets and once again destroyed by penalties. And those were legit. If there's a legit penalty, I'll say it's a legit penalty. The Jets destroyed themselves on that drive. How many? Here's another thing. I don't have the number, but look at the past 4 or 5 games. Every single time pretty much that the Jets fumble, the other team picks up the fumble. Every single time the other team fumbles, they pick up the fumble. And this has been going on, and I talked about it in a previous episode. This has been going on for several weeks. That's on the Jets. Fall on the damn ball. How about a few weeks ago when, I forget who it was, Clemens or someone, tried to just pick it up and run with it? Instead of just falling on it, we would have gotten a turnover. I'm just, it's so frustrating. How long do we have to deal with this? At least, you know what? I'd say this is a positive. This should finally put to bed Aaron Rodgers coming onto the goddamn field in 2023. I haven't wanted him back. I want him to rest. I don't want to risk another injury, a potential career-threatening injury in a game that doesn't matter. Because then the Jets look like even more dumbasses. What if he comes out in a game that is meaningless, means nothing, and he ends up getting a career-ending injury? So the Jets he plays in a useless game, and he gets the 4 snaps at the beginning of the year, and then goodbye Aaron Rodgers, goodbye hype, goodbye everything. Keep the man healthy, keep him off the field, let's start fresh in 2023, draft a bunch of O-linemen, and go out into the free agent market and grab a really good second wide receiver so that Garrett Wilson isn't always covered or, double covered or whatever. That's what we need to do. The defense is coming back. But I don't trust him. I don't trust Joe Douglas anymore. I did trust Joe Douglas, but after the quarterback room we're looking at, he's the only one to blame. And Saleh should have been on his ass, but get me a fucking quarterback, you asshole. I don't even know. We were given so many chances in the second half to get a touchdown that the Falcons literally were almost saying, please take the lead, please. Any other team in the league would have scored with as many chances as the Jets had in the second half, and especially the fourth quarter. Remember, everybody, follow me on Twitter at Midnight Mike Show. That's spelled MIDNIT Mike Show. I do a Thursday show every week where I do a pick for the game. And last week, I got the Jets score perfect, and I picked Miami to win. So that was awesome. I knew the Jets would score 13 points. This week, on the last show, I picked the Jets to win 16-3. Dumbass here, right? I'm sorry, 16-13. And the Falcons scored 13. I'm pretty good with these scores. But I expected more out of the Jets. Had the Jets scored a touchdown, it would have been what, 15-13? Or they got a 2-point conversion, would have been the score I said. I'll be back on Thursday to preview and pick the next game, continue my misery, continue your misery. This has to stop. This has to stop. The bleeding has to stop. I'm Midnight Mike. I can't wait to see you next time.